I was working with a client today, and he was talking about the struggles he was facing with anxiety and stress. And he was talking about using alcohol to numb the pain, which is such a common thing for us to do, isn't it? So we can use alcohol, we can use a substance, we can use cigarettes. A lot of us use food for soothing or numbing things away. And so I was looking up the synonyms for numb, and they're really funny. There's some like desensitized, frozen, detached, senseless. So what we're trying to achieve is an ability to step out the feelings we're feeling at this present time, which are extremely stressful, and get away from it all. But of course, as we know, the more we try and push it away, the worse it gets. And I know from experience that you can be as busy as you like, you can be as active as you like, you can prove to yourself that you can do everything, and yet that still there's that underlying terror of whatever the thing is that's frightening you, and it could be anything, and it could make you really jumpy, irritable with loved ones, unable to sleep properly, turning to drink, for instance, or substances to try and cope. And those coping mechanisms work for a little while, but of course, as we know, they start to require more and more of it to get through our day, and then the next day we feel like shit most of the time. So that feeds this anxiety monster. And this can start very young with us, and it builds and builds. And I trained with someone who had a great way of experiencing this. It's like a thermometer, and the thermometer's getting higher and higher, and it's just sticking at that level, and it has no way to come down again. So what I'm working with this client is understanding first how to reduce that anxiety naturally, and we are using a process of self-hypnosis for that. That isn't where we sit in caftans together waving incense and playing whale music and floating out of our bodies into a place of calm and tranquility, because that's not the real world. We're talking about situations where they can be sitting in their office space, and going through some kind of anxiety attack inside, and knowing how to approach that and use the right tools so no one even knows you're doing it, so you can bring your anxiety down. So that's one way we can work with this. But obviously hypnosis as well is a fabulous tool for resetting our nervous system, as is reflexology. And I put a post up this morning about how similar reflexology and hypnosis are in some areas, because they allow the more critical factors of our brain to be less active, and they engage with the areas of our brain where we can become more absorbed, but not absorbed as in rumination and going over our negative thinking, more absorbed in a way that bypasses those old patterns of negative thinking. It's absolutely fascinating. It's becoming clear, especially with reflexology and pain management. That's becoming really significant, as it is with hypnosis. But so when I'm working with clients, each client has their own challenges with anxiety, as we are all vastly different. So there's no one size fits all. But the one-on-one approach of hypnosis can really allow you, as he said, I love having the space to express these things and get curious about how I can become much more responsive and less reactive in situations, because he has very clear goals. He's very driven. He has a lot of motivation towards that, and he's got a very clear career path which he's achieving. But of course, these issues to do with stress and anxiety are always bubbling under the surface. So it's a case of, can you imagine how much better he's going to feel and how much more he can get out of every situation once he's got these tools? And it may be that we only do another 2 sessions together because he gets to understand the things that work for him. They may not be the things that work for you. They may not be the things that worked for me, because everyone is different. But it's just giving you that opportunity to step out of the critical armor that we wear all the time. We're constantly going, and we're, trying to navigate through everything, and we're driven, or we're so exhausted that we're completely defeated and we can't find any energy. So it's nice to use that time in hypnotherapy to almost step out of an old you and try on a new you, because those areas of the brain that keep us totally scanning for danger all the time are much more deactivated, and we are much more absorbed in the possibility of change. And that is the process of hypnosis, that we get to experience and know the fact that we don't have to choose to go down a certain path. We can choose to start over completely and go in a different direction. And that's brilliant. And, I know from my friends in the hypnotherapy world, that's why we do what we do, because it's literally like, oh my God, life doesn't have to be going down that one path your whole life. You're not stuck. You're able to see your world completely differently. In NLP, they call it the map is not the territory, and you can certainly change your territory. So I'm loving working with this chap, and I'd love to work with you if you're experiencing this as I experienced on a massive level when I was younger. So if this is something that you're struggling with, please don't spend the rest of your life wearing those old clothes. Just dump them and come and get a one-to-one session. I do work online. It's brilliant online because you just get to chill in your own space. And all you need is a good internet connection. And the feeling like, you just want to change. So if that's you, you can message me here, or you can go to my website, samanthakemptherapy.com, and email me from there, and we'll set up a conversation and get you on the road to wearing something completely different. And then you can experience numb in the right way, as in totally at peace, or using the tools that make you feel much more in control, much more the real you, without all this other frenetic energy getting in the way. Have a lovely day or evening wherever you are.